Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's premium review in which we are taking a look at the British Wirraway sitting at 1.3 battle rating both in realistic and in arcade. Fantastic little plane. It has received a battle rating reduction from 1.7 to 1.3 and that was a perfect opportunity to take a look at this plane. So we're gonna go into this plane and see what she can do. It's a very fun plane, I can tell you that. Now, on other news, I have activated the first part of my donation possibilities. I managed to put up my Patreon account and finish it, at least a first iteration. I'm still working on an intro video there, but anyway, it's ready to receive donations for the diaper fund. And if you are interested to donate to me, then you are welcome to check the page out. There will be a link in the description box below. Now, the Wirraway, 1.3 battle rating, famous plane, and a plane that was used mainly in the Pacific theater. And here we go for our first target. It's quite a versatile little plane. It is not a fast plane though. The maximum speed of this plane at sea level without web is 328 kilometers an hour. And with web 338, and at 4500 meters she'll go up to 265 without web and 267 with web, and finally at 6500 meters she'll go up to 218 kilometers an hour without web and 224 with web. Now this plane already loses web quite early. And at 6500 meters it's a little bit better than at 4500 meters. I don't know why, but that is what it is. And in this little sequence here you'll see the maneuverability of the Wirraway and the capability of dogfighting in this, well, what we call it, an attacker slash maybe fighter bomber. The boomerangs were actually created off of this design and are quite similar in the parts and stuff like that. Of course they are different in the end, but the design was inspired from the Wirraway. Now the plane also is not fast in a dive at all. 395 kilometers an hour before she redlines and 460 before she rips apart. Now that is of course pitiful even at a battle rating of 1.3. You'll get up tiered to 2.3 on a regular basis. Let me say that. On a regular basis. It is rare that you have pure biplane matches in the Wirraway. And you'll be facing these kinds of oppositions a lot. And oh, there we go for some bombs. And you can even meet some of the early E's, which are much better than this plane of course, but you have the maneuverability of this plane, and when there are dogfights going on you take your Wirraway right in between, you can wreak havoc really. The control stiffening, it's actually not really noticeable. The plane doesn't have the fantastic roll rate, and the top speed before she redlines is too low actually to see any significant drop-offs in the roll rate before then. The stall speed in the plane is very good with 85 kilometers an hour. The firepower is only average though. It has two 7.7 Vickers E's machine guns with 650 rounds per gun. It also has a turret with a 7.7 Vickers K machine gun with 576 rounds. You can equip this plane with 3 different loadouts, 4 250 pound bombs, 2 500 pound bombs, or a combination of 2 250s and 2 500s. And I am using the last option, 2 250s and 2 500s. The ammo load is decent in the plane, but the firepower is no more than average. You just have 2 machine guns, and even at 1.0 battle rating most of the fighters have 4 machine guns, although a lot of them have 2 as well, but that's just the average firepower planes have at this battle rating. The ammo load is decent. Acceleration in a straight line is average, and in a dive it's actually quite good. That's why the plane can actually be quite nice in vertical maneuvers with a stall speed of 85 and a dive acceleration pretty good. That's pretty nice. At this rate, as the battle rating though, it's not supported by the energy retention at all. The horizontal energy retention is above average, and in the vertical it's very bad. It does lose a lot of speed in the vertical, but you know, in the acceleration part of the loop you get your speed back quite nicely. Although of course you want to and should take this plane in the horizontal turns, as you see me doing here against this BF-109, who doesn't have a chance, and eventually we'll be we'll get on his tail and we'll make sure that he never does this again against the Wirraway. He tries to take it into the vertical, but he should have done that from the start and kept it going. He went horizontal with me, and that makes it quite difficult for him now. You can finish it up. The climb rate in the Wirraway is bad. Nothing spectacular there. The guns are hit and miss. If you get a pilot snipe, that's great, but if not, you can plonk away at enemy planes for quite a long time before they actually go down. But you do have a nice ammo load, so it's not bad. Turn time in the plane is excellent, especially for an attacker, as that is how this plane is described. Excellent turn time with flaps ripping off at 400 kilometers an hour, which is very close to the rip speed, so you can basically use flaps at all times. Makes the turn time even a little better, and you'll become a magnificent turn fighter all of a sudden. Don't go head on with a Ju-88 for too long. You don't want to take the risk. The firepower in those things, depending on which one it is, can be quite good. The A4 is not fantastic in that sense, but it is dangerous with the turrets, and I want no part of that, so we're gonna get the hell out of there. Roll rate in the plane is below average, and the overall maneuverability with excellent turn time and below average roll rate is decent. Overheating in the plane is very present with web, but it easily cools off, so I wouldn't describe it as a problem in the end. But if you have to do a lot of webbing in a turn fight and stuff like that, you do have to find a moment to cool it off, otherwise you will cook your engine. The durability in the plane is decent. It can take a hit or two. As you see, we took a few hits and the plane does handle it well. Flight model stays relatively good, but of course the damage here is equally divided over both wings, as we get 7 kills in that match in the Wirraway, with the first place in the team with 1 ground target as well. So like I said, as the damage was equally divided, the flight model was almost not noticeably worse or anything. It felt quite perfect after that as well, and the plane can deal with damage quite nicely. Of course, if you get major hits on one wing and nothing on the other, of course even the Wirraway will be noticeably hit in its performance, but further other than that, this plane does very well with damage. Now we also fly AB a little bit, of course, as this is a premium review and I always want to show both modes there. This plane is a lot less effective in arcade, at least that was my feeling. I got shot down a lot more, and more difficult to get the bombs off after the initial phase. If you want to take your bombs get the bombs off, you have to get low often, as the plane doesn't have the climb rate. So if you go to altitude, you are often intercepted by E1s, BF-109 E1s and stuff like that, as they outclimb you with you know, 2 fingers in their nose. It's quite easy, and you often in these early AB maps, you often get below the enemy spawn if you want to get at the vehicles, which is basically what the bomb load of the Wirraway is quite good for. But that also takes you underneath the enemy spawn, and that makes people dive on you. And although this plane can compete at this level with turn fighting, and of course if somebody does something like this, stop the turn fighting with you, then you can easily shoot them down. But the damage models are a little bit sturdy in AB, and you only have those 2 guns, which is no more than average at this battle rating, even below a lot of the other planes when it comes to firepower. And you're just plonking away at stuff longer, and it's just not as enjoyable, this plane, as it is in realistic battle. At least that's my experience. I'm sure there's a few maps that you can make this plane work on at this battle rating. But as a 1.3 plane, you often get placed on those early maps. At least that was my experience. And the vehicle areas are very close to the spawn points, and that makes it hard for this plane to do anything with its bomb load. Of course, you can opt to not take any bomb loads and to just go in as a fighter with this plane, as it is very viable as a turn fighter in this setup. And of course, again, here you also see the damage I take and the way this plane still flies, and it still flies very nicely actually. But we do get taken out eventually, as we were looking for more ground targets here. But I haven't found the perfect AB tactic in this plane yet. Anyway, here we have the screen for the RB match, which was fantastic. Let's see what we got. We've got Survivor, Terror of the Sky, 7 kills, 48,000 Silver Lions and 5,700 research points. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the Wirraway definitely is a slow plane. It has a nice bomb load though, and it has forward facing guns combined with fantastic maneuverability in the horizontal. So the turn time is excellent. It is not fantastic in the vertical, although the acceleration in a dive and the stall speed speak to vertical maneuvers, but the vertical energy retention and the climb rate don't. But so you want to basically keep it in the horizontal. Horizontal turns are nice, but if you have to, you can take it into vertical and make sure you use the dive part of the loop that you're going to make extensively and regain your energy that way. But yeah, the maneuverability makes this plane a fun plane, perfect for shenanigans, as you saw in that 7-kill match. That was amazing, and that was on and above my battle rating. It was not an easy match, but it went smoothly. If you have other allies around you and you can go in between fighting planes and stuff like that, you wreak havoc in this plane. It turns so nicely, you can get guns on target very quickly. The flaps only rip off at 400 kilometers an hour, so they're very functional, and they make the plane even more badass in a turn. So I really like the Wirraway in realistic battle. I'm still looking for a way to play it in AB, as for the reasons that I mentioned, but all in all, it's fantastic, and I definitely recommend this plane if you have an opportunity to get it. Guys, do make sure to check out my Patreon page. Again, it is up and it is ready for your use if you want to do that. It's highly appreciated if you do, and really helps me out. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.